Miss D, and these have been some great discussion. That's why I've listened more than talked. I don't think it's because of your gender that you're predisposed to emotionally cheat or not, because the men that I know will emotionally cheat, and the women that I know have emotionally cheated. So it's really hard to say which gender does it more. I just think it's equal based upon that person. Are they open to talking to other people? Are they uh, extroverted enough to be able to, articulate things with a person of different sex or with a family or a friend? And some people are very introverted and they keep things to themselves. And that's equal between both men and women. So for this one, I don't think there is a predisposal based upon your sex to be emotionally cheating or not. For what?
Dre, you're muted. Dre, you're muted. You are muted. You having a conversation with yourself.
Yes, because I took my stupid pills. Yes, I've OD'd on my stupid pills. You see?
You've been hanging out with Trump.
Oh no! Don't put that on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. But Miss Summer, I know that you're happily in matrimonial land, and you've been married a while and doing your thing. Who do you? We know for a fact that men will sleep with a groundhog if it's available. Um, what do you think makes? And I'm asking for a woman's point of view, a married woman's point of view. What makes you think that makes a man want to go and stick his willy in something silly?
Oh my goodness. Um, it could be a lot of different things. It could be midlife crisis, wanting to still feel young, feel like they still got it. It could be like a whole bunch of different factors that can play a part in that. Um, I've witnessed through friends where relationships where um, people have connected through the job. They've gotten emotionally, I guess you want to say, involved through the job because you go to work every day, you see people every day. Hey, how was the weekend? And you connect that way, and relationships have formed through the workplace. So I've seen that on both sides, through family, friends, and things of that nature. It can happen on both sides, and I think that it just depends on the relationship. I've known relationships that have stood the test of time because, in my opinion, what makes it work is that you have two people that have a lot of the same common goals. They want the same things, they're on the same page. And so when you have one person who's not there and the other person is like doing everything and trying to make everything work, it's not going to work. So two people have to bring it on that same level in order for it to work and for the people not to, for each one not to stray. That's
It's
just,
and
and
that's
I'm just,
and that's why I don't believe 50-50 in relationship actually exists. There's always a push and pull because sometimes we're pushing toward each other, sometimes we're pushing away from each other, sometimes we're pulling. Sometimes we're pulling the same side. Sometimes we're being pulled to each other. But it's a job, it's an occupation, it's a specialty, and it's a calling. So if you can do all of that stuff, and things go in. Some things go well, some things don't. But you got to be able to handle your business. Go ahead, Miss Summer.
No, I was just going to add, my mom gave me some of the best advice. I would go to my mom sometimes. Um, I got married very young. So a lot of my little club phases and all of that stuff, I never got all of that out. So I was a young mom and I was married. And so through the course of my marriage, I had to literally learn how to be a wife. I didn't have my own place. I was never on my own. I went literally from college with my parents to going away with my husband into the military, and we knew absolutely nothing. So we have literally bumped our heads along the way, and it has been a journey. Um, but ultimately, I guess what my mom's advice to me was, because I would go to her a lot of times because I was in like stumbling. And she told me that, because my mom has been married to my dad about 46 years. And she's told me that in each phase of my dad's life, because we're not going to be the same people that we were when we first met, but in each phase of our lives, she had to literally learn who my dad was in each phase of his life, date that person, get to know that person, and vice versa
Okay.
with her as well. And then they would learn each other at each phase and then progress and learn. We are not going to be the same people that we once were. We are going to change. We are going to evolve. There's going to be a lot of changes, deaths, graduations, things that shape us and make us who we are. But if you have that one person that's with you through all of those phases, that get to know you and help you through those changes, you'll value that person more.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And as you said, people date folks. However, here's the deal about that is that you know you have to you have to be in it to win it. A lot of time, and especially in today's society, with this quote unquote gender war, people looking to win at all costs. As long as I win and you lose, I'm okay. As long as I come out on top, I'm okay. And those weren't the values that our parents had. Our parents were those vows. They honored those vows for richer, for poor, for better, for worse, sickness and in health. Today, people break up over a milkshake, but it's we've gotten too accustomed to being we've gotten too accustomed to being that person who doesn't want things to go wrong, but we're not doing things to keep things right. Go ahead, Carmen.
No, my question is, well, based off of that, because my in-laws have been married 55 years come June. No, actually the end of January, 55 years. Literally, they both been to hell and back with each other, learning and growing with each other, separated, got back together, and some more stuff. So I see them as, okay, hang through it, get through it. But what if it literally takes a toll on you physically?
Oh, it eventually does.
No, no,
Unhappiness and depression
not even that.
does
Like
wear you
literally your
physically.
body organs start shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you're physically uh being destroyed by this, I don't want to tell you to quit, but you need to reevaluate your situation because it's not healthy for you. It's not healthy at all. And I'm not a psychologist. Yeah, people come to me for advice all the time, and I give good advice as well, even though I don't listen to my own. But if something gets to the point where you are physically sick from it, you need to reevaluate your situation, because that's going to lead you in the direction you do not want to go. And if he's still seeking other people to communicate with, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, and not and kind of blocking you or getting upset with you or separating his mental with you, it's something that you need to reevaluate and ask yourself questions that I can't tell you what to ask. You need to ask yourself questions within. Everybody knows what those questions are. I don't care what anybody say on here. Everybody knows what those questions are when you need to reevaluate your situation. If you're in an abusive relationship, you need to evaluate your situation. If you're in a loveless relationship, you need to evaluate your situation. You need to evaluate anything that's negative that's causing your health to fail. You need to evaluate that.
Okay.
Your
Period.
mental health is important, very important.
Some of us are more mental than others, but you're right. Mental hygiene is important.
But at the end of the day, you still need to evaluate your situation. You ever see when someone's in an abusive relationship, they hang into that relationship, and the outside is just like, I don't understand why she's still with that person, or why he's still with that person. You know, she's abusive, he's abusive. The way he talked to her, the way she talked to him. On the outside, we can say, oh, we wouldn't do that. No, but you don't know what your situation is. So that's why I say you have to evaluate your situation the way you need to evaluate. You know what's best for you. You know what you need to do. You just need to come forth and say, okay, I can't.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't.